हेलो व्हाट्सअप।
हाँ लिसन, मैं यार रसल पीटर्स का एपिसोड एडिट कर रहा था।
हाँ।
फनी नहीं आ रहा यार।
What the fuck do you mean फनी नहीं आ रहा है?
मतलब कुछ हाँ फनी मोमेंट नहीं है ना।
उसने किसी पॉलिटिशियन को चूते नहीं बुलाया?
नहीं।
एक्टर की भी नहीं ली?
नहीं।
तो क्या फायदा उसे लाके?
यार मतलब रसल पीटर्स है यार, लोग इंसाइटफुल कॉन्वर्सेशन करने का मन करेगा। मतलब
हमारा पॉडकास्ट कौन सुनता है तुझे पता है?
नहीं। क्यों?
लौंडे सुनते।
अबे यार उसका अब क्या करूं, मतलब ढंग की कॉन्वर्सेशन करिए यार।
I think one of the ideas we could do is we could actually record a phone call
हाँ
which somehow subliminally sends this message across कि funny नहीं है podcast।
यार, अगर हम वो करेंगे फिर लोग कहेंगे यार डिफेंसिव हो रहे हो।
पर लोग कम से कम हेट देते समय कम से कम अटेंशन तो मिलेगा थोड़ा, उससे थोड़ा ट्रैक्शन कर लेते कम से कम। माय पॉइंट इज वील गेट अ रिएक्शन एंड एट द एंड ऑफ द डे दैट्स ऑल मैटर्स। इफ यू गेट अ फकिंग रिएक्शन दैट्स कूल।
तो क्या ऐसे रिलीज करते मतलब?
ऐसे रिलीज कर देते हैं लोग, रिएक्ट तो करेंगे, कमेंट तो मारेंगे कुछ भी फक कॉल ये क्या है।
तो चल ठीक है, फक इट, ठीक है, मैं कर रहा हूँ, रिलीज कर रहा हूँ। ठीक है
अब सुन।
हाँ बता।
साइनफेल्ड कुछ बोल रहा है क्या, आ रहा है कि नहीं?
चूतिया आदमी है, उसको क्या करेंगे? मैनेजर में मैं नहीं मुंह लग रहा है उसके फक कॉल।
क्रिस रॉक नहीं आ रहा है?
कालों की यहाँ क्या औकात है।
ठीक है। और कोई नहीं? और कोई नहीं है?
नहीं यार छोड़।
तो सुनील पाल
गरीब।
Hello. Welcome to All India Bakcho.
Episode number 7.
That's right. It's a very special episode today, Khamba.
Yes, it is.
Like we addressed in the phone call. This is, of course, the Russell Peters episode.
Yeah.
That a lot of you have already heard us tweet about, talk about.
Yeah, we even released a preview, special preview. Some of you who were super excited about it read that.
Thank you very much, NH7, for doing that. So, Khamba, first of all, just to put things into perspective, before we jump into our conversation with Russell Peters.
Yeah.
Since both of us are comics, we've spoken a lot of things with Russell about
comedy, yeah.
About comedy and about stuff that
he has done in particular.
He has done, of course, what he has done in particular. Also, stuff that as comedians, A, we will be interested in.
Sure.
And B, this is presumed knowledge that we as comedians know.
No, yeah.
And which our listeners might not necessarily know about.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do in this episode is, and also for some fun.
Yeah.
Every time we feel like we're going to talk about something that is too insidey, for the lack of a better word, we will actually come back and address it as ourselves, not with Russell, outside the interview. And of course, if we can go to a comedy clip, if we can, that should be the best idea.
That should be okay as well. Yeah.
To give you some context, Russell was down in India for work that cannot be discussed on this podcast. And I happened to get in touch with him, and he happened to give me a shout out on Twitter, and he was very sweet. Someone suggested that he should get on the podcast, and he was like, "Let's do it." Very, very nice of him. So we went to his hotel room, and we started chatting, and we should just dive into the interview. Yep. And this is Bakchod with Russell Peters. Khamba, say hello.
Hello.
Russell, say hello.
What's up?
So that, like I said the other day, we have the one and only Russell Peters is with us. You guys might have heard of him. He's this upcoming
comic, from Canada.
I'm gonna give it a shot. See how this thing works out.
So that's Russell. First of all, welcome to India.
Thanks. On behalf of every Indian. On behalf of 1.3 billion people, you'd like to welcome me.
So this is something Russell was mentioning. Contrary to some of the jokes that he does, Russell actually really likes Bombay.
No, I love Bombay.
Yeah. Why do you love Bombay? This will be fascinating. Why? Because Indians hate Bombay. So when somebody from outside comes and validates
which Indians hate Bombay? People not living in Bombay.
And people living in Bombay.
I think people say that just to say it.
Yeah, you know, I think that's kind of true as well.
Really?
It seems like the thing to say because, you know, it's kind of like a pretty girl that calls herself fat. Oh my God, I'm getting so ugly.
Yeah.
And you're like, shut up. It's, you know, it's almost like they're fishing for compliments.
It's kind of like that.
You know, I have a feeling that some Maharashtra politician is now just going to say, Russell Peters thinks Bombay is awesome. Why the fuck do you want us to do more development?
I really do. You know, I said to you guys before, this is the only city in the world outside of North America that I have ever considered living in.
Wow,
until I heard the prices of your real estate.
You can afford that.
You can afford that.
No. I heard some prices last night that made me go, fuck that.
No, Outsourced did pretty well.
Outsourced did well. It didn't do $20 million for real estate well.
So Russell grew up in Brampton.
I grew up in Brampton. I was born in Toronto.
Born in Toronto.
Excuse me.
Classy.
I keep it classy. Stay classy, San Diego. I moved to Brampton when I was about 5. Which, to people who don't know Canada at all, are like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Sure. Yeah.
Brampton is a suburb
Brampton
of
like?
Toronto. It's about 25 minutes northwest of the city.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
What's the town like though? Is it full of Indians?
Now it is, but growing up it wasn't at all. It was very blue collar, white, and there was like some black families there.
So do you feel violated now when you go back?
When I go back, it's funny because everyone's like, "Oh, of course you grew up in Brampton." I'm like, "Not then.
Not then.
Then it didn't count. We were the Indian community."
But I saw the oldest video of Russell on online.
Oh, did you watch that one? That
I
told you
went
about?
back. I went back and I watched that one. Where
Dug
he's
the archives.
with the
Slick
long hair.
back
He
hair.
is essentially Mallu in that video. I don't know why you were way darker for some reason. And you have the slick hair and.
It was 1993.
It's like what Akshay Kumar looked like in '93.
I think
It's
you
the
were
same look.
4.
I was 4.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So he was doing. That wasn't a black room though. That wasn't.
No, that was a regular white
That was
room.
a white room. What is it like playing the black room though?
It depends on where the black room is. I mean, a black room in the States versus a black room in England or Canada is very different.
How
'cause-
different?
How different?
Well, because the black people in America were brought there against their own will.
So they laugh at
and
different
in
things.
England and in Canada, they were immigrants like the rest of us
Yeah,
over there.
yeah,
so
yeah.
we have a stronger bond and
America.
more commonality. And in the States, I don't have the same angst they do. I mean, I grew up with black people my whole life, so I understand them inside and out. But when they look at me, especially in the States, they're like, "You're not one of us," and I'm like, "Well, how do you know that?"
When was the first time you came to India?
To perform?
No, just in life. When was the first time you
Probably in 1976.
Okay.
70.
And that
75?
was just like a regular family visit? Or
Yeah, it
what
was a
it?
family visit. My uncle was getting married in Calcutta.
All right.
Okay, so,
So
after
we-
that you didn't make any frequent trips to.
No, it was 76, 79, 82.
Wow, you remember the
98.
years and stuff.
Oh, holy shit! Okay.
82 and 98. That must have been a
There
big
was a big gap.
gap
That was a big
between.
gap.
Yeah, from 11 to 28, it was a
Yeah,
big gap.
Yeah.
That must have been weird for you to just see how much it has
Calcutta
progressed.
didn't really change.
Change actually.
No, you know what's
from
funny?
8 to
I was-
98 would have been the same.
I was looking at videos that I shot of Calcutta 3.5 years ago when I was here, and I had just come back from the Middle East like recently, and I was just watching the videos, and I looked at it and I was like, Calcutta's never been attacked, but it looks it looks like they were bombed, and like they're just recovering from post-war efforts.
Which is true. Which is true.
And then I think back to like Beirut, and I'm like, they've been attacked a shit ton of times, and they're in better shape physically than.
That's true.
But so no one will ever attack Calcutta.
But the thing with Calcutta is that they always end up blaming it on Bangladesh. they will never take responsibility. They will just say immigrants come from Bangladesh and they fuck it up for all of us. It's basically
Yeah,
never,
no, it's
never
been
the
like that
Calcutta's
since
fault.
I was a kid.
It's not changed.
Before Bangladesh was even there.
Which is why the reason why I brought that up was I was watching the video that Russell did, the first videos, and at that were you just starting off then?
I was 93. I was 4 years in already.
4 years ago.
4 years in. What was the kind of, yeah.
So he was doing the jokes about he was still doing a lot of Indian.
Yeah,
He was doing
yeah.
the Indian accent and stuff like that.
What a great looking crowd. You seem pretty enthused by that comment, though. Tell you a bit about myself. My name is Russell Peters. I'm East Indian. Thank you. It's kind of cool being East Indian, though. I can hang out at the Toronto airport and go up to people when they come off the planes. Can I help you with your luggage? Screw around with my friends when they're in my car. Where to, buddy? It's kind of cool being Indian, though. I remember being in India when I was a little kid, watching cartoons Saturday morning. We try and copy North America as much as possible. They have Scooby-Doo over there. Only it's called Scooby-Dooed. It sounded like this. Like Scoob, it's the ghost of Gandhi. Remember, they even had the Packy Dot door. The Packy Dot door, the Packy Dot door. See you soon at the Packy Dot door with roaches and curry and so much more. Got a letter from my uncle in India last week. It said, Russell, have you heard of these Teenage Mutant Hindu Turtles? Well, it's good to see we got a good big room full of racists. That's comforting for me. That's you're doing a mean job on that popsicle, boy. She's just going at that one, boy. Big old yellow one too, huh? Oh, man. So hockey fever's back. Hockey season. Everybody watch the hockey games now? Yeah? Yeah. Hockey fever hit us pretty big, last May. The Leafs went so far. And it even hit the Indian community, man. I was seeing this Hindu girl. She got really into ice hockey, man. She had a red dot in the middle and 2 blue lines on either side. Proud to be Indian, though, man. And you know what it is? I think the reason why everybody laughs at us is because of our accent. Otherwise, we're pretty intelligent people. No, hey, if you ask us where to go, we can get you there. Isn't that right? Where to? Oh, man. No, it's the accent. Because you see Italian guys and Jamaicans, they could fake their accent and make it... You're Italian? I can tell you got your hand on your balls. You're Ooh. Rocco. What's your name? Louis? What is it? What is it? Gene. You just didn't want to say Gino, did you? Hey, it's Gene. As in denim? No, as in Gino. Polyester. No, I'm sure. No, Italian guys, you guys could fake your accent, make it sound pretty cool, though. You know what I mean? You guys could walk up to a girl at the bar and go, "Hey, baby, you want a boogie?" You know, you can see Jamaican guys walk up to a girl at the bar and go, "Hey, gal, come here. You want to dance, man?" You don't see Indian guys faking their accent, you know? "Excuse me, but you're wanting to dance?" You guys have been a lot of fun. Have a great night.
But I saw him years later. With the Comedy Central special was a few years later.
Which one?
The one that went viral.
I shot that in 2003, so 10 years later.
10 years
later, yeah.
And I just noticed initially the stuff was very basic. Okay, there's the cab driver joke, there's the dot joke. And then suddenly the next video I saw of him,
just much more evolved.
Just fucking evolved and just now subtle teasers start coming in about India. Which is why I asked you if you came here often for you to pick up on that stuff.
Yeah, where did you pick up on those subtleties which sort of emerged?
Just like he does this joke about Russell, your show last night. It blasted my mind.
Yeah,
mind
and it's
blasting.
so fucking true.
Yeah.
That's exactly what uncles say.
So where did you pick that up from?
Well, that was from my trip here, actually. In
one of those trips.
That was, Mind Blasting was from Red, White, and Brown.
Yeah.
Which was shot in 2008. So I had come to India in 2007 and did some shows, and that's where I heard that.
Your show last night.
You know who actually said that to me was Samira Reddy. Samira told me that.
Samira Reddy is your uncle.
She's my uncle.
For some of our viewers might not know who Samira Reddy is. Big star down south.
Nice.
Is she big down south? She's not big up here?
Not really. Nobody cares.
Well, she does Tamil movies?
Yeah. I have seen...
I didn't know she spoke Tamil. I know she's South Indian, but I didn't know she spoke Tamil.
No, she does Tamil movies because Bollywood sort of rejected her. And she had a much hotter sister who was a VJ on Channel V. Yeah.
Sushma's good.
Yeah.
I mean, Samira's good too, but, you know.
Yeah. That's what this conversation is going down from subtleties to which sister would you bang? It's a little strange.
Either or, really.
So what was the kind of early stuff? Because there's not a lot of, like, people, all of us pretty much, especially in India, only heard of you the first time in 2003 when that video went viral. So early on when you were doing stand-up, you said 93 or 4 years in. What was the kind of stuff
you were doing?
Oh, it was really lame, dude. I mean, I was the first guy, so the good news for everybody else who does stand-up now that's Indian, they don't have to do the same horse shit that I did. And stand-up, when I started in 89, it was kind of like the big wave of stand-up had just crashed. So it was the best time to start because people had started to ignore stand-up comedy. So it was the best time to be in there because nobody's paying attention. You can make all the mistakes you want.
Sure. Yeah.
And I had no, like, mentors, no peers, nobody my age. I was 19.
Sure.
There was nobody my age doing it back then. I mean, around me at least.
No other Indians?
There was no Indians. There was nobody that I could be like, hey, man, can you guide me through this? No, and nobody wanted to help me either. So I had to just figure it out on my own.
Wow, all right. So did you from when you started and every couple of years, because from when we started as open micers in India, you know, in our own head, we sort of know when we have sort of progressed or taken a few steps. So but
over here, you guys like move fast.
Yeah,
like, you
fairly
know,
fast.
So like there's guys that have been like, I've been doing it 10 months. I've already got so many gigs. I'm like, what? In 10 months? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but that's also because of lack of supply. There's not as many.
But like the thing is, you can't get good fast.
You can't.
You need to do it for a long time. You need to you need to get booed off stage. And I think that is the most important thing in a comic's career.
Did you get booed off stage often?
Not often, but it's happened a few times.
Early on?
Early on.
Yeah, 93, 96.
Okay, which was the last bad gig you had that you weren't happy with?
There's a lot of bad gigs. Not bad gigs, but there's a lot of gigs where I walk off stage and go, oh, that was shit. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's the best thing about being a comic is you're never above a bad gig, no matter who
that's
you are.
True. You never know.
So when you started off, for example, now in hindsight, you know, you can say that, okay, the earlier stuff I did was fairly lame. But when you were doing it then, was it still lame to you
It was
then?
kind of lame to me.
Because right now, when some of the stuff we know, we just do it because we know
Yeah,
it'll get those
I knew it
laughs.
was going to get a laugh.
Laugh, yeah,
I knew
exactly.
nobody else was doing it.
yeah.
So it was
yeah.
kind of like, I might as well say this, get it out of the way, and then move on from here
Yeah.
until I come up with something better.
Better, yeah.
Yeah, so it's so nice to hear that even he used to do it for the laugh.
Laughs,
Some bits
yeah.
you do it.
You
just for the
have
laugh.
to. I mean, you got to build your confidence. I was never a confident guy to begin with.
Yeah, were you always the kind of kid who wanted to go on stage and stuff? Did you do
No.
all that?
But all the stuff in terms of the hobbies that you say, you DJ, you do boxing, all of that is pretty much stuff which needs to, you know, you need to put yourself out there to do it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I believe in doing things that you're the only one in charge of what's going to happen to you.
Sure.
So boxing, you're in the ring. I mean, if you want to get knocked out, you can. Just drop your hands.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you want to succeed, keep your hands up and fight and move forward.
Is
Same
that-
thing with DJing. If I want to fuck a party up, I'll play the wrong song. You know, I'll play shit I like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit I like, people generally don't like. So I'm like, well,
Shera di Kom Punjabi.
I said shit I like, not shit.
But like, is that's a very like sort of Zen philosophy. So does that sort of translate into your stand-up as well? Do you sort of keep that message? I'm just trying to like intellectualize the
You're trying
discussion
to
a little
really
bit.
go deep, huh?
Yeah, trying to
No, but it's
intellectualize.
funny he said that you got to do it for long because yesterday he said something so that really stuck with me. He said, you've seen Talking Funny, right?
Yeah.
So there's Ricky Gervais on it, there's Seinfeld on it, there's Chris Rock, and there's
Sure.
Louis C.K. And he said Ricky Gervais said something very interesting. He said, you know, earlier when I started doing stand-up, I was Googling this thing.
Yeah.
And he said, you haven't been doing stand-up long enough. If
yeah.
when you started doing stand-up, you had to Google shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. If you were able to Google anything,
Sure.
when you start doing stand-up, you have not been doing it long enough.
Yeah.
You got to figure the internet started in '94.
Yeah.
Sure.
When did Google take place? Like
I don't
2000?
know. I remember. Yeah, 2000.
2000,
Post later
2000,
yeah,
yeah.
after
Yeah.
2000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just when we were in
I met the
university.
guy that wrote the script for Google.
Whoa.
His name is Ajay something, I think is Ajay.
It's probably Ajay.
Probably
Patel.
No, it wasn't a Patel. I think it was a South Indian. Really nice guy, though. So fucking brilliant, though. Like, I was so impressed when I met him.
Did you understand a word? What do you say?
No, he's really smart. And I met him at the Asian Awards in England. And he came over for a picture with me, and he was like, yeah, I wrote the script for Google. I go, what? And then when they announced
my
him,
life.
when they announced him for an award, I got up and I gave him a standing ovation. I was the only one. I got up and I was standing. I'm looking at everybody. Get the fuck up! Do you know what this guy did? Have they ever? Nobody. They Google. You Google shit because of him. He told me that the initial script for Google was. If you type something in, it would take 40 days to get back to you.
Whoa.
And that's where he came in and fixed it and made it so that it comes right back to you.
That's worse than the Indian Post Office.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Trust an
that's
Indian to fix
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let me.
This is what you do.
Yeah. Now, and when he gave me his card, it just says Google Fellow.
Oh,
Wow.
that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
That's cool.
His name, blah, 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 and then Google Fellow.
Because he probably
and then
knows
I
nobody's
wanted
going to
to,
remember the name anyway.
this is how I knew he was real, because I wanted to know his net worth,
So you Googled
so I Googled it. Didn't come up.
Oh.
He removed his shit off Google.
And the only one who can do that.
The only one that can do that is the guy that created it.
Ooh.
That's true.
Okay, just to go back to just in terms of how you started. So now 2003 and stuff was when the video went viral. Just
Well,
everybody-
2003 is when it was shot. It
Oh,
didn't
okay.
come out till 2004, and then it went viral late 2004,
Do you
early
know
2005.
who put it up?
I have no clue who that guy
Have you
was.
thanked the guy in your
I've-
dreams?
Dreams.
let me tell you, I've thanked him every time. You know what's funny is I met the kid that created YouTube.
Oh wow.
This Korean guy in LA. I met him at these Asian Excellence Awards. I'm always at some sort of Asian award
Awards,
show.
Yeah.
And I met him on the red carpet. And I tapped him on the shoulder. He turned around and gave him a big hug. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I
you so
and I said,
much.
"Thank you for my Rolls Royce."
That's hilarious.
Thank you for my Rolls Royce.
Oh, wait, pause.
Let me get that. Hold on.
Where is he now?
They get really keen with the AC over here.
Yeah.
if you can afford it in India, then you might as well use it. It's basically
Yeah.
that logic.
I see. I grew up with no AC in our house, so it was always like well, if it gets really stinking hot, then we'll pull out a fan. You know what I mean?
Do you remember did you ever use the cooler? We used to have the cooler.
The water cooler. I don't think that concept's there.
No, I don't think that's in North
I
America.
think it's just an Indian thing.
Next thing you're gonna ask me if I carried a Tiffin carrier to school.
Or a dude delivered
One
it
time,
on a cycle.
let me tell you something. One time, my mom brought me one back from India and thought it would be a good idea that I carry a Tiffin to school, and I was so embarrassed. I threw it away on the way to school,
You didn't
and my
share.
mom was like, "What happened to it?" I go, "It got stolen."
Oh no, it was so good. It got, people
I go, they wanted it.
Okay, so so the video went viral around that time. I remember I was in university and everybody was watching it.
Yeah.
And that was the question I'm asking is now, since then you've now got everybody in India, when you say stand-up comedy, associates
In fact,
associates with Russell
the
Peters.
first few times we did stand up.
Yeah.
In fact, there was like, we didn't know anybody outside Russell Peters who's Indian did stand up. We had no fucking clue.
It also ruined it for us a little bit
Yeah.
because everyone who came for the show had seen your video. And we are open micers going on the first time. We're like, you're not like that guy at all.
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people, you gotta, I think a lot of my fans are not really stand-up fans. They're more Russell Peters fans.
Yeah.
Because I could
That's
tell
true.
that they're not stand-up savvy.
Really?
Because when I try to do certain jokes, they don't really get it, and I'm like, oh, they're really missing some subtleties here, aren't they?
That's completely
true.
That's completely
Yeah.
true. Like my mother's not a stand-up fan, but she knows who he is.
And material.
Yeah, and
And
jokes.
material.
Like I had to she didn't understand what I was doing. What is this stand-up thing you're doing? I
Yeah,
said,
see,
"No."
when I did it, my parents didn't have any clue what it was. There was no point of reference for them. I said, I'm going to be a stand-up comic, and
They didn't know
my-
anybody.
my-
Who was
Yeah, my
there?
dad used to listen to Red Fox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
or
I used-
not even like a Carlin.
And
or
I used
a-
to listen. I used to listen to Carlin
Alright.
and Steve
Pryor.
Martin.
Steve Martin,
But
yeah.
to
Steve
them,
Martin,
it was like these guys are on records and
Sure.
they're big stars. It was kind of like, well, it's kind of like your son comes to you and goes, "Dad, I'm going to be an astronaut." And you go, "Okay,
Yeah.
you go be an astronaut."
Yeah.
I'm not
Sure,
paying.
sure.
Yeah, I'm not paying for that. Go ahead.
If you get a scholarship, maybe. That's true. No, but now, for example, so everybody knows your material in terms of, doing the Chinese references and picking out those cultural subtleties.
Yeah.
It's almost... So the question I want to ask is, do you...
Am I being pigeonholed by my own material?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
You feel like you are?
I am because I wrote a whole new set right now. I have a whole new show that I'm doing, and people
Notorious,
walk
yeah,
out.
this is what-
Yeah, the Notorious show, and people are walking out like, "Well, he didn't do this and he didn't do that," and I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm doing something different."
Yeah.
and
So
that's how I know my fans. A lot of them don't really get. Like they're not genuine fans. They're fans of that one show,
or
and then
that
they think
bit
that it's kind
The
of like
rest of it is going to be the same.
yeah, it's kind of like, but at the same time, as an artist, you gotta grow,
Sure.
but you can't
Yeah.
grow past your fans because
Yeah.
then who are you left with? Nobody.
So did you get hate for that show or something like that?
No, I haven't got any hate, but people like disappointed, like
That you didn't
Yeah,
do any
you-
references or something
yeah, they were
like
like, well, it was good, but I think the other stuff better, and I'm like, oh.
Fair
What do you want
enough.
from me,
Fair enough. They'll grow to like this.
But that's the thing, yeah. If they watch it recorded again, then they all of a sudden love it.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where they're expecting to know what I'm going to say, and they don't know what I'm saying. Or know what I'm going to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
And then once they get used to it, then they repeat it back and like, oh, I really like it now.
But how conscious are you of that? So even when you're writing material, for example, new stuff, do you feel in the back of your head that, oh shit, maybe I should incorporate this because people want it?
Well, see, to me, the stuff that they want is so easy for me to write that
Yeah,
I
it
don't
must-
even focus on it.
You've
I
done,
focus
like,
on,
three shows about-
I focus on like what I want to talk about. Like I talk about being a father now. I talk about getting divorced. I talk about, shit that's going on in my life.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
And a lot of my fans genuinely get upset when I say I'm getting divorced or got divorced. They go completely silent on me when I say it.
Is it because? Do you think
I
it's
don't know
because
what
of
it
the?
is.
Is it because? No, I can maybe sort of get it because in terms of everybody, sees you as this really happy, jovial that nothing can go wrong.
Nothing can go wrong in
Dude
your life
next
at all.
door.
But that's the thing. I'm so much happier divorced. Do you know what I mean? It's like I was away from the game for a year because I was married and I was unhappy. I couldn't do stand up in that year. And now I'm back and I'm so excited to be doing it again and I'm happy to tell people I'm getting divorced. It's like Louis C.K.'s joke. He said he's getting divorced and people were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he was like, why are you sorry? That's the
yeah.
best thing that could have happened. No, like he said, no successful marriage has ever ended in divorce.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's happened 0 times.
That's true. That's true. Okay, I have a personal.
I wanted to say something like that, but it's like Louis already said it. What are you going to do? You're not going to say it better than him, so.
Louis is something else.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, I have a,
He actually said this on Madden. We were talking about. He actually said this on Madden, where he said that your status, your comedy doesn't live up to your status, is what you said on Madden.
yeah, which I thought
Yeah.
was a big admission.
Big admission coming from
you. Yeah.
I don't think I'm. Here's the thing. I don't think I'm particularly that great of a stand-up. I think I'm proficient and I can do it no problem. But
no,
I just think I'm a road comic who got lucky. Do you know what I mean?
All right.
Like I can still play a bar
Sure.
and be quite happy playing a bar of 50 people, and I can go play an arena of 18,000. But either way, I'm the same comic. It's not like my material gets better because I'm doing this or that. It's the same shit. But I just, I'm fortunate enough to have people, the amount of people that want to come see me. Now, I don't know if they're coming to see me because, wow, we really want to hear what he has to say, or if it's nostalgia for them. But either
Yeah.
way, please show up.
Please show. Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
That's
That was
interesting.
very cool.
I don't think there are a lot of comics even courageous enough to admit
To
it,
admit that,
especially
yeah.
on the scale that you're
That
at,
you're at, yeah.
and at the level that you're at.
Which is a lot of people in America wouldn't like. He keeps showing up on the Forbes list of the top 10 most earning comedians in America and this, that, and all. But a lot of people are surprised when, like, even Marin was very surprised when they're like, this guy sells this many, but who the fuck is this guy? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Rock called me the most famous person that nobody knows.
That's very
Because
possible.
that's-
very
that's-
possible, you
yeah.
know.
Because when I met him, I'm friends with his brother Tony.
All right.
So Tony we were in Vegas one time, and Tony was like, "Hey, you want to go see my brother?" And I go, "Yeah." Like I'm a huge fan of your brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't, when you're friends with the guy's brother, you don't want to be like, "So what's your brother doing? Hey, what's your brother at?" You know, you don't want to be. I mean, you're friends.
You don't
with,
wanna be that guy,
Yeah, it's like I'm friends with you,
Yeah.
and then you have a famous sibling. I don't want you to think I'm only your friend because of
Because
your
of the
sibling.
sibling, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
genuinely
Even
friends
though
with Tony.
if it's true, but
No, I am genuinely friends with Tony, but
hilarious.
I am a fan of his brothers. You know what I mean? But I never bring up his brother because that's
you seem like a dick. Yeah.
yeah. So Tony was like, "You want to go see my brother?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah." I've spent $150 on tickets to see his brother before. Like I bought scalper tickets in Toronto.
It's an Indian, always an Indian.
Yeah, and I bought it. I sat by myself in the last seat in the entire venue, but I wanted to see his brother that bad. So anyway, we go to the show with Tony, and I'm sitting with Tony Rock and Chris's mom and Chris's other brother and his sisters, and I'm like, this is wild, dude.
Fucking awesome.
I'm like sitting with the Rock family.
Wow.
Then we go backstage after, and Tony is standing there, and I'm standing with Tony, and Tony's other friend and his girlfriend are there, and he's like, "Hey, Chrissy, this is my man Mac and his girl," and I'm just standing there, and then they're talking, and I'm just standing there, and Tony looks at me, and I go, Tone,
Yeah.
you never introduced me to your brother,
Yeah.
and he goes, "You don't know Chrissy?" I'm like, I mean, I know him, but I don't know him. You know what I mean? He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. Hey, Chrissy, this is Russell Peters." And Chris immediately was like, "Russell Peters? You're Russell Peters."
Oh.
Like he knew my name, but he didn't have my
No
face.
face, yeah.
And he was like, "Wow, you're the most famous guy that nobody knows."
That's
And then he
Yeah.
was like so nice to me, and he was really cool. And I saw him later on the casino floor, and he like people were like yelling, Chris," and he was ignoring everybody. And then he saw me, and he stopped and came over and said, "What's up?" And I go, "Where are you going?" He goes, "I'm going to go hang out with Jerry." I'm like, "Jerry?"
Seinfeld.
Yeah, he was like going to hang out with Seinfeld. I'm like, "I'll just be at this blackjack table, I guess."
Wow. Okay, at your level, do you then end up comparing yourself to other comics in terms of material?
Yeah.
I don't compare myself to anybody. I think that's a bad way to run your career.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Gandhi who said, "Don't compare your what was it?"
Gandhi has so many quotes we've lost.
He had some great
Basically,
quotes,
because every quote is
and the
attributed to him.
fact that I can't remember it makes me a fucking retard. But never compare your failures by someone else's successes. Yeah. So I live my life by not comparing myself to other people, because if you do that, then you're never going to feel adequate. You know what I mean? You're going to drive yourself crazy. That's like dating a girl and knowing that she had a ex-boyfriend with a huge cock, and now you're coming in with fucking tiny time, and then and she's telling you how great it feels, but in your head you're like, "But she doesn't feel as good as that guy's." You're going to drive yourself crazy comparing yourself to other people in life. You just got to accept who you are and like it.
But I generally feel like his fans, like for example, if when I watch Chris Rock or when I watch Seinfeld, like I'm just like, oh fucking that bit that he did was funny. But I know a lot of his fans, a lot of my friends and my family who watch him, they're just like, oh my god, he's so funny because it's just him who's just so fucking funny. His face, everything he does, the way he moves, it's fucking funny. So I think a lot of his fans come. The process of becoming a fan starts from this place of love almost, you know what I'm saying? It's different. Whereas for a lot of other comedians, it comes almost like, okay, so that joke was very funny, and it comes from a very fan
theirs
sort
is
of
a more
place.
critical.
Yeah, and yours is just sheer love. It comes from that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
genuinely feel. I know what you're saying, and I
Yeah.
feel
I
that.
think
I
they
feel
also
that
feel
from a-
you're their guy.
You're the guy.
You know what it is? I think I represent a faceless group of people that were invisible to the rest of the world.
Yeah,
And-
almost, yeah.
And it's and they can also tell that I'm not like up there going, huh, look at me and look at you. It's
No,
more of
it's
a
very like-
it's more of a look at us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you know,
yeah,
like even
yeah.
when I go to Canada and I don't feel like in Canada my fans are very very rabid
Really? Okay.
Okay.
because that's my home country.
Sure, sure.
And you know, and to the people back home, I get the genuine feeling of not look he made it, it's look we made it. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
So I get that
That's
feeling
awesome.
of
That's
that,
cool.
that you know
That's very cool.
that
Very cool.
we're going forward, not he's
That's
going
very
forward.
cool.
You know what I
That's
mean?
Very cool.
I also genuinely also think in terms of at least Indian audiences or people who watch your stuff here, like if you look at, for example, Seinfeld's material in terms of just, you know, a lot of the references are also very American, especially Chris Rock's material. As comics, we might like that, but for an Indian audience, someone, you know, like my mom or, you know, your aunt or uncle, for them this is just stuff that they felt when they went to China. That's the accent
Yeah.
and that's how they talk. And
Well,
this
that's
is
the thing. We live
nitty-gritty.
in a different situation now. I mean, I consider the world a more of a global place because you know, back in the day before the internet,
Sure.
you would have to go to these places
Sure.
in order to know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
But now, say I say something you've never been there, you go, that's sounds funny, but why is it funny? You can Google it or YouTube it,
Yeah.
and go,
Yeah.
oh my God, he wasn't making that up.
The reference makes...
Hold on.
Yeah, no. How often did you get laid because of stand-up?
I can remember the first time I got laid from stand up. I like that the sound of you opening these cookies. It was like it almost sounded like how often you get laid from stand up. It sounds like you're opening a packet of condoms. Well, I think it's about to get luckier, fellas.
Dark fantasy.
I know. He
That's
was
what
trying to
it's
slip me his dark fantasy just now. South Indians and their dark fantasies.
For us.
First time I got laid from stand up was in 1995.
Who was the girl?
I don't know, some white chick in Saskatchewan.
Was it because you were funny? Was that it?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. I screwed her in a minivan at the top of some hill.
But that's a nice view. If nothing else.
It was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting to get laid then. So it was
I don't
even
think
better.
they're ever expecting it.
Get laid after a show.
It's a fucking myth, right? That funny guys or what do you want in your man? Oh, he needs to have a sense.
Yeah, no, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit. That's not true at all. That's not true at all.
Yeah, they're like a sense of humor first, and then what do they say? Looks, then maybe,
Look, no.
or money is last.
Compassion and
Always.
empathy
Whatever.
and
Yeah,
bullshit like
fuck
that.
them.
I think all three of us.
Some
are in the
reason you
same
get an
boat.
ugly rich guy, his shitty jokes start to seem funny
Funny,
after a while.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all in the same. We're all in the same boat, though. Like, no offense, Russell, but you're not exactly very good. You're not a great-looking
Looking
guy.
guy.
No, thanks. Appreciate that coming from you two lookers.
Yeah, but none of us are fucking good.
I know. I have captured the Sikh market, so I'm good. I'm good with.
Now, but
I think Googie captured the Sikh market actually.
yeah, that's true. But now how different is it to women? Because you're famous, right?
Because
Are they
now
throwing
you can't
themselves at
randomly
you-
screw random chicks.
Jesus.
at you all the time.
Can you accept women who throw themselves at you now that you're much more famous? Given
I,
that the YouTube video might be on next day. Look at me.
I don't reject a lot. No. I mean, yeah, they, you know, the bigger your status gets, the better looking the chicks get. Really, that's the bottom line. And that's how
really
you know
work
you're
hard.
making it. That's how I judge it. People are like, how do you judge your success? Is it by how many people come to see? I'm like, no, how hot the chick is that's in my bed.
That's so true.
Then I'm pretty lucky. I've been doing pretty good in my life. There's not been a lot of Ugmos, you know what I'm saying?
You have so much to thank to that YouTube dude for.
Yeah.
Just there's pussy, there's the car.
I was doing pretty good with
Money.
the vagina before him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing pretty good. I was pretty solid. My game was tight.
Okay.
But it got better, obviously. I mean, I mean, I started banging chicks I would generally have jerked off to. So
That's when you know you're doing better.
That's our entire choreo. That's a little sad.
it's so funny because now I jerk off to potential chicks. You know what I mean? It's like I just texted this chick, but oh look, there's her video. I might as well just jerk off to that first.
ऑल इंडिया बकचोद प्रायोजक रसल पीटर्स पॉडकास्ट एपिसोड लौटेगा अगले हफ्ते भाग्य 2 यानी कि सेकंड हाफ के साथ. तो कृपया पॉडकास्ट सुनते रहिए और लोगों को सुनाते रहिए. एंड यू नो, just like do your own thing, man. Just Krupya.
I love that you said Krupya.
Yeah. So second episode, second part of the episode will be
We'll
out.
be out in the next episode, yeah.
I think it was quite interesting. I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, good fun.
In hindsight. So let's move on to other things that happened this week. You know. So Kamal, have you seen the one show that has been in our face for the last month and a half?
What, Roadies?
Roadies has not been in our face. It has been up our ass.
That's true. Always up our ass.
So have you seen Amir's new show? Satyame Vidyate Satyame.
What happened to you? Why did you
I
spaz
don't
out
know,
on me
I
like that?
just
That
felt
was
like- I just
that
felt
was a
like
little
saying-
shocking, by the way.
Yeah.
No, man, I did see the show. I actually, what's your opinion on the show? Because this show has divided the country in half, like most of Amir Khan's previous projects.
You mean Kiran?
Oh, poor thing. Yeah, I know. Actually,
Kiran didn't
I
divide the
think,
country into two halves. Kiran divided the Khan family into two halves.
in fact, now that you think about it, that Kiran Rao was the only project which, you know, united the country. On one side saying, nahi yaar, fuck all ugly hai. The whole country. This was the only thing the whole country agreed on saying,
You
come
know,
on,
Amir met Kiran on the sets of Lagan, right?
To be fair, the only other chick on the set was Gracie
Gracie
Singh.
Singh.
Who the fuck would you rather fuck? You would obviously
That's-
go with
yeah.
Kuna. And then, of course, you will later realize she cannot give birth to a baby. But that's a different story. You know. But, yeah. 3 guna surrogate lagan. Totally uncalled for.
3 बार लगाने के बाद भी कुछ फायदा नहीं.
Unnecessary hate.
For Gracie Singh.
I quite like her. She made Dhobi Ghat. It was a good movie.
ए बोले तो abortion. Sorry, very bad.
Unnecessary
It was
hate.
very bad. Talking about abortion.
Yeah.
Back to Satyam
Satyam
Jayate.
Jayate, yeah, just, you know, felt that pain.
What did you think? You wrote an entire fucking blog post on it, didn't you?
Yeah, because I was honestly very, you know, it was a show that I thought about because honestly, I think it is one of the most important. You have already started yawning before I have even completed one sentence.
It's really late.
That's
sorry.
how awesome the show is.
Do it.
No, the show was a little divisive because obviously, you know, people would question the kind of intention that the show has, because the show has been pitched as the show where Amir will walk down from the clouds and save and deliver India from all its ills and all the things that ail every Indian.
Yeah.
Amir will single-handedly curb and cure.
Yeah.
So that's not his fault, I guess. That's just the marketing machinery. But that's how the show was pitched. So obviously, you know, I was a little curious about it.
So, 1 second. Are you surprised that they're doing something emotional on Indian TV? When was the last time something straightforward was played on Indian TV?
No, not at all.
And anybody fucking noticed it?
I agree
1 second.
yeah, I
I'm
agree
sorry. I'm
completely.
sorry. On the one hand, I have 2 bald men yelling at
Sure.
kids from Chandigarh.
Huh.
On the other hand, I have this, which might be emotional. Whatever it is, at least it's talking about something that is not to Rodi Banega. You know what I'm saying?
No,
That's all.
I agree completely that they had to, you know, on one hand, even though some of it makes you cringe, like some of the hoardings make you cringe,
It is-
I totally agree that they have to do that because you have to play
Yeah,
the emotional
yeah,
card with the
yeah,
Indian
yeah,
audiences.
absolutely.
If you
It
don't
is-
play the emotional card, then audiences will not. Indian audiences don't really understand subtlety.
No, they
It
don't.
has to be pushed in their face. You have to use the tear jerking.
Of
You
course.
have to use the Garib Bachcho ki photo. You have to do
And
that to
it's
achieve the desired
not
result.
just for social issues, but for anything.
For anything,
Take
yeah.
कॉमेडी करते समय भी आपको ट्विंग डालना पड़ता
हाँ,
है.
laugh
ड्रामा
track
करते
डालना.
समय भी मद्रास कट डालना पड़ता है.
Yeah, yeah.
Indians in general are not used to subtlety.
Subtlety,
So
yeah.
the only way you'll actually, for the lack of a better word, spread any kind of awareness
Sure.
is by tugging on the emotional cord.
Agree completely. In fact, even I wrote about this, that, you know, the emotional card, even though it's one of those things which I'm not really sure of, because awareness generation is not really tangible, but it's a good thing. Like, I'm not dissing Amir at all. A lot of people were questioning
कि
Amir's
आमिर
intent.
खान चूतिया है शो
हाँ.
करने के लिए. आमिर खान ने क्या गलती की है?
There is no, exactly. He's done
आके
nothing
बोलना चाहिए था,
wrong.
5वीं पास फेल है वो करना चाहिए था उसे. फक और वो तो प्रूव कर दिया तारे जमीन पर उसे. वो थोड़ी करेगा वापस.
No, agree completely. The fact,
What is he supposed to do?
And I was a little surprised that, I mean, people will disagree on this, but I was a little surprised that, people were questioning why is he charging 3 crores for a show. I think he's perfectly justified as an artist who's giving that
Fuck
much
you.
time.
Shahrukh charged that much money to do Wipeout.
Yeah.
Shahrukh charged that much money to watch people fall off a fucking inflated balloon.
Yeah.
There is no fucking harm in him charging
Exactly,
3 crores
exactly.
to fucking talking about an issue that is a very big problem.
Yeah.
Not saying he's the first guy to talk about it,
Yeah.
but he's definitely the most popular guy to talk about it. He's definitely
Yeah.
the guy who will actually, the most people will watch him talk about it.
Yeah, sure. Agree completely. I think that's
Because
what
the last dude to talk about this was Kiran Bedi.
Yeah, no, I'm totally agreeing with you, man. This is one of those, I think, one of those issues where you and me don't have very divergent opinions.
Yeah.
It's perfectly justified on him. He's spending a lot of time and effort. A lot of people charge a lot more for so much shit.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking, like, lawyers charge 5-10 lakh rupees for a Supreme Court hearing for half an hour.
Fucking
Fucking
exactly.
over a year, there will be 30 fucking hearings. They'll make the same money for doing absolute shit.
How dare they do this?
Yeah.
How dare they do this?
It's-
Are they fucking bastards?
Yeah.
Don't they know that the cases are for poor people?
I think it's just one of those things. Like, I can, for example, I can still imagine some of my friends who've been working at grassroots levels in fucking Naxal areas, stuff like that. Them, for very little money, and even they'll have mild contempt, but they don't disagree with it because they're like,
Yeah.
listen, this is the life I've chosen and I'm perfectly comfortable with it. It's cool. So if there's any contempt or if there's any contrarian opinion, I would still take them seriously. I don't
Yeah.
understand why other people are dissing it.
Having said that, I can definitely agree with a lot of people when they turn around and say the show could have done better.
Sure.
Of course, the show could have done better. They could have done a lot more things. But I also think that having Amir on the show, on the one hand, is a big boon. But on the other hand, it's also a big hindrance.
Big
It's a
hindrance.
massive hindrance to
Massive
have someone like
hindrance,
Amir Khan on the show. Because as much as I think Amir is sweet or whatever, I don't think Amir is the kind of guy to ruin his life for this show.
I don't think
think
he
he's
will, no.
willing to go out on such a big limb and fuck his own
I
situation.
don't think he can do that. In fact, I was a little surprised at just the amount of nationalistic fervor that the show sort of generated, where everybody was like, oh my god, we must be 100% behind them. And that's what I thought. I was like, okay, you know what, you're talking about an issue like female feticide. Nobody will willingly fucking say that I would want girls to be aborted or whatever like that. I'm curious to see, the real test of the show, and I don't think Amir can do that. Nobody can, and
Nobody
especially
can, yeah.
somebody like Amir.
Somebody
Sachet
like
can't.
Amir, yeah.
I want him. I want somebody at the balls to go on a show and say, suppose tomorrow Amir Khan goes and says homosexuality should be legalized. Will all the people on the right
Yeah,
wing
yeah.
still agree with it? If
Yeah.
tomorrow Amir goes and says, you know what, I went inside Gujarat, I investigated, I believe Muslims were driven out and the Hindus were at fault, you think everybody will be supporting him?
उतना नहीं कर सकता यार.
कर ही नहीं सकता.
धूम
Exactly.
की शूटिंग बाकी है तो समझ नहीं रहा है. धूम
No.
3 उसके बिना कैसे होगी?
That's what I'm saying, that it's nothing on not giving Amir hate at all. I'm saying that
Yeah.
we as people are so hypocritical.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
this is an issue we agree with.
This
But
is- yeah.
But as soon as Amir disagrees
कुछ
with
बोल
something,
देगा ना, हाँ.
if he takes a stand, which is, dude, look at it from a young people's perspective. If tomorrow he says, I am pro reservations in universities.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fuck Amir. फना क्या fuck all पिक्चर थी. कुछ फायदा नहीं हुआ. लगान 6 घंटे की पिक्चर कौन देखेगा? Fuck all ऑस्कर जारी नहीं थी.
Exactly. Then what will happen? Immediately everybody will suddenly realize, oh look, his surname is Khan.
Khan. Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Fuck. Look, he has married twice.
Fuck that.
All of
जाने
that
तू या
shit.
जाने ना was a horrible movie.
Yeah, so that's why I was a little surprised at how people reacted, because I was like, you know what? Hold your horses.
Yeah, just relax.
Yeah, just relax. I want to see how you react. But that said, I know Amir is smart enough to never do that.
Yeah.
And nobody, you can't. You fucking, कर ही नहीं सकता. It's Amir
मर जाएगा वो
Khan.
बेचारा.
Basically.
शूट कर देंगे उसे.
गाली, yeah, exactly.
मर जाएगा.
No chance. Honestly, all said and done, I think very good attempt. I think a little
Good start. But I hope they go somewhere with it.
Go somewhere with it and totally justified.
Good start, matlab in the sense ki if you're going to do this is what I would this is the least I would expect from this show.
Yeah.
If you're going to portray it, first of all, if you're going to call it Satyame Vijayate, this is the least I would expect, and they've done that.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope they go somewhere with it. I don't think we are, as a society, ready for someone to actually go there with it. I don't think we are ready to have issues like these addressed, which we
And
we spend every day of our life brushing under the carpet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I do not think we're ready for the truth, so to speak.
More importantly, I don't think Star Plus is ready for this. ऑफिस
Nobody,
पे अटैक
no.
हो जाएगा. I know how these channels work, dude.
Yeah, nobody's
Something
ready.
mildly कुछ ही बोलते कि नहीं पागल है क्या, we can't put this on air. पूरी चैनल की लीगल टीम की गांड फट के हाथ में आती है. We can't
Yeah.
do this, we can't do this.
Yeah.
Fucking disgusting. अब fucking Indian television in general की इसकी there is no actual government body. हम खुद को सेंसर करते हुए बैठे अब तक. The show also ended with a spectacular Ramesh Sampath and Swanand. That's when I was just like, you're doing a song at the end of the show.
Listen, that song was very important because that song, the whole point of constructing that song was that they could shoot Amir from multiple angles, calling the little kids towards him
Yeah.
and saying, I am your messiah, suck my dick and I will deliver you from these fucking people.
Heal the world.
Make it a better place. Oh shit, Michael bhi to वैसा ही था.
You know, my first thought was this was a show, this was the first episode was on फीमेल फीटिसाइड और राम संपत था उस शो पे.
हाँ.
राम संपत का सबसे एक गाना पता है, उसके लिरिक्स बात है, डैडी मुझसे बोला तू गलती है मेरी.
Wow.
I'm just like, I hope Ram Sampath starts off this female feticide, ends this show by saying, Daddy, one acoustic version of Daddy, mujhse bola.
It would have been very funny if Amir Khan had gone to one of those doctors in Rajasthan who was providing this service.
Yeah.
And as soon as the doctor sees the camera, he starts running and Bhag Di Ke Bo starts playing. Starts playing in the
Yeah.
back. That would have been hilarious. Lab coat leke bhag raha hai. Oh
But so
shit.
many of Amir's songs completely fit this female feticide situation. Like, I hate you like I love you.
So tell me something. What did you think about the marketing of the show?
I think the marketing, एक तो I think उन्होंने अपनी चड्डी बनियान बेच के शो को बेची है. मतलब जिस तरीके से एडवर्टाइज हुआ है शो, जिस दिन शो, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल did you know this? The day the show aired,
Huh.
that day it was on the front page of Times of India, Hindustan Times, fucking every major newspaper.
Wait, only paper that matters. Hindu पे था क्या?
I don't know Hindu. I don't know. I didn't.
I'm pretty sure Hindu पे भी होगा.
Hindu पे भी होगा. Okay, he was front page ads है इन सब पे. Midday, Mumbai Mirror, every fucking newspaper had carried a piece on this. HT कैफे से लेके बॉम्बे टाइम्स से लेके सब लोग DNA आफ्टर आवर्स से लेके सब लोगों ने पीस कैरी किया फ्रंट पेज पे. आमिर शो डेब्यूज, व्हाट डज आमिर फील ऑन द डे ऑफ द शो. इससे ज्यादा एडवर्टाइजिंग मैंने देखी नहीं है किसी शो के लिए सिवाय रावण के.
मेरे को तो कोने में अरिंदम चौधरी रो रहा होगा. Oh fuck, मेरे मार्केटिंग वाला फायर हो गया होगा कि बहनचोद मेरी फोटो का है. Where is my photograph?
Fucking, I have seen. I was driving down Juhu and I saw एक होर्डिंग जहाँ पे आमिर घूर रहा है. उसके ऊपर एक और आमिर जो पहले वाले आमिर को घूर रहा है. उसके ऑपोजिट वाले साइड पे एक और होर्डिंग जो इन दोनों आमिर को घूर रहा है. लेकिन वो आमिरसेप्शन.
तीनों एक दूसरे को
घूर रहे हैं.
तीनों एक दूसरे को घूर के रो रहे हैं. तीनों की आंखों से आंसू निकल रहे हैं.
पहले आमिर was fucking could have filed for sexual harassment on the second Amir.
Dude, the best was this was one hoarding. उसके आसपास लाइट लगी हुई थी. ठीक है. तो एक तो वो ऐसे लग रहा था कि हेलो है उसके आसपास नीले रंग की हेलो. दूसरे उन्होंने व्हाइट लाइट ऐसी लगाई हुई थी. You know, it was shining on his eyeball. तो ऐसे लग रहा था मोतिया हुआ उसे. मतलब उसने इतना घूर लिया है that his retina has given up. That वो कह रहा है बेंचो ट्रांसप्लांट कराओ यार. Fucking it's not working now.
Oh god.
Fucking hilarious hoardings.
But that is so typical of Amir, right? All the hoardings where he would just, you know, that point before, it's almost like just before he took the picture, someone came really hard and smashed him in the balls until he reached the point of crying. Like it's that point before he starts crying.
I don't think they did that much. I just think they went and said अपनी infertility के बारे सोचो. I think that's all they did, and he's like,
Satyamev. The truth always wins, Amir. The truth always wins. अमिताभ ने आके कहा कि पोलियो गोली खिलाओ. अमिताभ के बोलने से कोई क्यों करेगा? Would have been the first reaction by everyone. But अमिताभ ने बोला ना.
But here, this is the conundrum. is that when in an Amitabh Bachchan example, and I keep saying this all the time, that we have no fucking role models left in the country for young people.
Yeah.
Which is why society will hang on to anyone who is giving a positive message of hope.
Yeah.
Which in this case is Amir Khan. But for this show, I think the exact opposite has happened. For example, if you look at an Amitabh Bachchan situation, something like a polio, that is a problem which actually affects the so-called DD audiences more than the rich audiences, right? Statistically, it affects them
Statistically,
more.
yes. Factually.
I think for this show, for example, something like female feticide, जो वहां पे गरीब बैठा है, जो फार्मर बैठा है गांव में, जिसको लड़का चाहिए बिकॉज उसको खेत नहीं जोता उसने 3 महीने के
Fair
लिए,
enough.
उसको हाथ चाहिए. आई थिंक इन दिस सिचुएशन ही विल बी द वन हु विल से फक ऑफ.
Fuck you, Amir, तुझे पता नहीं है. हाँ.
तेरे को पता नहीं है क्योंकि तू 3 साल से भूखा नहीं है. बट जो पीपल हु आर talking shit about the DD audiences, they will be affected more
yeah.
by the show. I
yeah.
think this will be the anti of what even the middle class perceives the show is to be.
Yeah.
मिडिल क्लास ये कह के खुश है कि इसको गरीबों को इफेक्ट होगा, एंड गरीब कहेंगे फक ऑफ, एंड मिडिल क्लास को इफेक्ट होगा. आई थिंक उल्टा होगा इसमें.
हो सकता है. But then again, I'm just genuine. I'm just in general in life, I'm relatively more optimistic. All right, guys, that was our episode of All India Bakchod.
That was fun. Good discussion.
Good discussion. I'm feeling so like charged up right now.
Yeah. So I hope you guys had fun listening to Russell as well. We're gonna be back with the rest of the interview in the next episode.
हाँ जी हाँ, रसल के दम पे हम पॉडकास्ट चलाएंगे.
रसल के दम पे पॉडकास्ट चला रहे हैं. होपफुली रसल के दम पे कुछ और लोग सुनने वाले मिल जाएंगे. फिर सोचेंगे क्या जबरदस्त इंटेलेक्चुअल डिस्कशन होता है इस शो पे. ये तो हमें बार बार सुनना पड़ेगा.
और फिर अगले हफ्ते लड़के होते हैं
मादर चोद. बस भाई स्टैंडर्ड तो ये ना औकात हो गई. तो वही करेंगे बस, और क्या है.
That's right. So thank you very much for listening. We'll be back next week. I know this episode was a little lower on the funny.
Yeah, a little low on the funny. That's okay, man. People need to get a better attention span.
People love us for who we are, Khamba. Apparently.
Apparently.
Thank you very much for listening. See you guys next time. And cue music.